India Today's news director is decoding China's Pangong Tso treachery. Here is a look at what Rahul Kanwal has for us.
Remember, this is the Pangong Lake. 1/3 of it is in India, 2/3 of the lake is on the Chinese side. The red line here marks out the line of actual control. So what we'd seen previously was China go beyond the line of actual control and try and set up base which have now been very strongly fortified all the way up till Finger 4, which India said was on the Indian side of the line of actual control. What's happened now, and I just want to zoom in to try and show this to our viewers, is that the Chinese have come in and there was this violent skirmish on the 29th and the 30th on the southern side of the line of actual, on the southern side of the Pangong. So I'm going to now show you, and remember, this is just very preliminary information, but this broadly is the sector where this incident has taken place. At least one part of the incident has taken place over here. And if I were to just show you on a map, you can actually see the Chinese roads as well. So these are the Chinese roads that come in, the zigzag formation and then the straight line. This is where the line of actual control is supposed to be. And they tried to alter the status quo as it existed. In the dead of the night, the Indian army spotted that and they moved in to push the Chinese back. That's what we figured it is. And some of the military formations, this, remember, is a Google map provided by Maxar Technologies that we're using. Some of these military positions can even be seen in this map. So this is where the Chinese came in, Gaurav, and as you said, the situation currently along the line of actual control very, very tense, because what it demonstrates really is that China isn't happy with the way the situation is post-June. And while they were telling the world and telling India that they are pulling back, in reality, they've been building fortifications. Our open source desk has done a story on how in the southern bank, they've brought in more high-speed boats, they brought in more troops, they brought in their light armored, and therefore there's a very, very substantial deployment of the PLA in the south bank as well, even though the action so far was in the northern bank. And what you can see here is that it's a very, very mountainous region with one road along the bank, but they try to come in, spotted, pushed back. The situation currently exceedingly tense, and what we've been told is that the Ladakh highway has been shut off for civilians. Civilians have been told they can't use it. It can only be used for military purposes. We know that over the weekend, and they're not, Gaurav, you've been to Pangong multiple times as I have, there aren't too many villages over there, very, very few civilians, but they've been pulled back. The civilian trucks have been requisitioned for military purposes. India has sent in its tanks very close to the site of conflicts. If the Chinese come in, we're ready and we're ready to push back. But it's very clear that this battle, the country may have been obsessing over the coverage around the Sushant Singh Rajput case. This battle on the ground is far from over. Things could at any point in time, and they already have, take a turn in a very, very bitter and ugly fashion.
Colonel Vinayak Bhatt, who is a defense expert, is now joining me live for his quick inputs on this particular development that is coming in. Colonel Vinayak Bhatt, how do you explain China's defiance now? Despite those multiple rounds of talks, it looks like all of those talks are falling on deaf ears and they continue to alter the status quo along the line of actual control. Colonel Bhatt.
Very true, very true. They are trying to, as usual, use their old tricks of the trade and try to get inside and change the status quo of the LAC at every place. So India has to be very, very careful. This time around, India certainly was careful and they've thrown them back, and in future also we will do that. But all along the LAC and the IB, even till Arunachal Pradesh, Indian Army has to be very, very careful and alert. The Indian Air Force also has to be alert because recently we've heard that J-20s have been, put at Hotan Air Base. We've observed 2 of them, which are 5th generation aircrafts. We've also seen substantial improvement in the surface-to-air missile locations all along the border with India. There are almost 14 SAM locations which have come up recently in the last 2 to 3 months. and that is really worrying and ominous.
Colonel Bhatt, in your sense and in your experience, how long can India now continue to engage with China on a rather diplomatic level and try to find a plausible solution through the round of talks that are going on? Because clearly there is a provocation that is coming in, and of course they've gone ahead and made a provocative military movement as well to alter the status quo at the line of actual control. But for how long more can India just bank on the diplomatic engagement with China? What's your sense?
You know, India is a matured country with matured diplomacy and the army, which will continue to have talks at all levels, including military level, diplomatic level, and further at leadership level also you might have talks. But then Indian Army must also be prepared for the worst situation, for a warlike situation. At least skirmishes in these areas where they have come in are not ruled out. So one has to be prepared and face the brunt wherever it is required. And we will come out winners in this. Although at different levels, in economic levels also, India would be taking initiatives to pressurize China. Diplomatically, the world community as it is against China. And they know how well China is, trying to push India into a corner with Hodgson's choice. We have no other choice than to go for a war with China as of date.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.